Hey everybody, So Wookie here. In this video, we're going to go through the patch notes for update 8.1 for Season 8 of Pubg. We're going to go through everything that's included, including new features, the changes to Sanhok itself, and much more. If you enjoyed the video and find the information useful, consider liking and subscribing to see more. So, first off is the Sanhok Remaster stuff. So it just goes through a couple of the key locations. So you've got boot camp before, you've got boot camp after. One of my favourite things about the new boot camp is these new security towers. They look really cool. I don't think we've seen them before on any of the other maps. I could be mistaken. Maybe at the prison on Miramar, but quite a cool security tower there. It also goes into saying that there's actually some underground areas as well for very close range gunfights, so it'll be fun to find them and get the loot. The next one is Quarry. Now, previously it was very open in the centre, but they've made it much more like different canyons with bigger bricks and stuff. You can climb up here to get to the different levels. They've also got the rope bridges, which I love. It's very Indiana Jones-esque. Now, I feel like the Quarry is going to be tied into the lore of Sanhok quite a lot, because is it a gold mine quarry, for example, or whatnot, and then is that tied into the lore? I'm sure we'll find out as we unlock the little bits of trailer throughout the season, but yeah, Quarry's looking like a really cool place. Next up, Earthfield, which was previously the Monkai Farms. Now, this is the only place that you can get an air glider on Sanhok, which is pretty cool. I also like how the air glider itself has got a green skin. It's not just the yellow one of normal. But flying a glider around on Sanhok is going to be awesome. I never really used to like this area. It was quite simple. It was just basic villages with a like a ranch in the middle. Whereas this, I think, is quite unique. They've added Gateway, otherwise known as the Party Zone, which used to be Docks. Docks was never somewhere I really liked going, to be fair. So I'll be hoping to explore this new area. Looks like it's got a couple of unique buildings dotted around, like this big nightclub perhaps and stuff like that. So that'll be good. They also mentioned that because they're switching this, the old Docks map is getting removed out of Team Deathmatch. Oh, which reminds me, hopefully, uh, the way that the new boot camp is laid out, it looks like it would make a very good team deathmatch match. So hopefully they just swap a couple of them out. But yeah, Partizan looks pretty cool. The next one is Ruins. Ruins has received a massive revamp. So it's still got your underground areas. It's got these massive monoliths going on, all very awesome. I always quite liked landing at Ruins. It was a hot job, plenty of loot, good gunfights. So hopefully this just makes that much better. The next one's the mountain in a very similar aesthetic style to the ruins. More proper buildings opposed to just like solid objects, so that's pretty good. And again, it's just a good update for it. The cave, if I'm honest, I think I've probably landed at the cave less than 5 times. I've ended up there more than that because a lot of the time the ring can go that way. But this just looks way better inside, way more detailed. Still got your little skidoo. It just looks awesome. In fact, all of these new areas look pretty cool. To be fair. Now, one of my favourite new features of this is the river. It's the rivers itself. As you can see, the banks are much closer together now, with much more foliage right up to the riverbank. So it feels more jungly than like these open fields after you get to the water and then a cliff. The water's also a lot shallower as well, so there'll be a lot more of the spots where you can run across, and there's actually more bridges in total, which is pretty good. Probably not going to get as much boat usage, but I imagine the skidoos will still be whizzing up and down here like normal. Then Painan, Kao, Sahmi, and Kampong, they've all had updates, but some of them have got like new buildings and they've tweaked some of that, and some of them they've just widened the roads ready for the new loot truck, which we'll get to in a second. Ban has completely gone. Now I always quite liked Ban. It was quite a unique area. I don't think there's anywhere like that in the game previously. But like it says in the little description underneath, and I'll tag this page in the description of the video. It was a pain in the ass to loot. I'd never land there. It was just you sometimes found yourself going through it to get to where you had to go. And now they've changed it to a village. With a bit of a perimeter wall, so it's much more defendable and much more usable. And again, even if we look in the background here, like the trees seem to have encroached further down. Like obviously they've got rid of the big tree, but there's more trees around. Coming down this hill here is pretty much a run for your life because it's empty. Whereas now you can go tree to tree to tree, you're in, kind of thing. So they seem to have done a lot with the foliage. And then the next thing, that's all the different changes to the map. The next thing is the new feature, the loot truck. Now, a lot of people were speculating that this was going to be a drivable vehicle. You could stand in the back. That's not the case, unfortunately. However, it has got a pretty unique feature to it. The loot truck is a brand new feature that gives players an additional, albeit risky, way to gear up. Trucks spawn in one of several garages around the island and drive along roads, enticing players to attack them. As these trucks take damage, they'll drop some loot and continue on their way. Players persistent enough to destroy the truck will be rewarded with an even bigger cache of weapons and gear for you and your squad. Be careful when attacking these rolling behemoths, though. They can take a lot of damage and do so will attract attention. Now, as we all know, shooting your gun at any point in Sanhok always attracts attention because there's always somebody closer than you think. But up to 4 of the trucks are spawned at the start of the match, so there'll be 4 of these boys rocking around. Each truck is spawned separately inside one of the special garages scattered around the map, so they're not all going to be together, which is good. When a truck is destroyed, a new truck will be spawned up to the maximum of 8 trucks. So it's basically kind of like a different care package feature, if you will, but it's pretty cool. And then the loot itself. So loot trucks can be damaged and destroyed with weapons and throwables, obviously. However, the loot truck takes reduced damage compared to other vehicles, okay. Small or large lootable containers drop from the truck as it's damaged. Upon being destroyed, the loot truck will explode, giving access to a large amount of top-tier loot, including possible exclusive weapon loot. Now this is interesting. Exclusive weapons are pre-skinned, they'll have a unique skin, specially named weapons, so it might be like an M4, but it might be like some character from the Lord M4 or something, and it's already got attachments on it as well. Now, this is quite a good way to add unique weapons into the game that aren't going to be overpowered and stuff like that. So it might be like this character's M249 and it's got like a special grip on it where it's not as like recoily or something. They could do stuff like that. At the minute, loot trucks don't currently spawn in ranked matches because they're probably, trying to work out to balance them properly. But for your normal mode, it's pretty cool. The Sanhok balance update. And again, I don't think this applies to ranked, but Panzerfaust has been added to the world loot, which I'm assuming is there to help you with the loot trucks. C4 has been removed. Vehicle spawns adjusted, obviously to facilitate the trucks driving around, which is fine. The weather, it's got clear, sunrise, sunset, and overcast. Yeah, they'll tell you about they've been removed from Team Deathmatch. It's going to be available in Ranked and Normal, which is good. Old Sanhok will be just removed from all. I just did the fade effect from blue songs to look more natural. Before. Okay, that is pretty good. So that was always the thing. When you looked up into the sky, it looked like you were in a big circle, whereas now it's like, I think it just fades out the top, so it's just nice. Next thing is Survivor Pass Payback. So this is the new season we're going to be ranking up this time. This goes live on the PC PTS tomorrow, so I'll make a video tomorrow for you showing you all the different skins, so stay tuned for that. They've removed community progression and beginner missions. Oh, they've removed community missions, so we have. I wonder if we're not collecting CDs this season. Interesting. Okay. Progression. Beginning missions are always pointless. You usually just like click this button in the menu or something stupid, like change your skin. It's like it's pointless. Changes in the season missions. All mission sets are available at launch rather than previous system. Yeah, I mean this is better because like I find myself waiting for them and it's annoying because I complete them relatively quickly. Complete all 4 types of Sanhok related missions to earn 4 unique weapon skins. Okay, cool. Challenge mission. These are challenge mission based on survival. There are composed of 16 missions with the opportunity to earn 4 face. So this is basically what the bag one was last pass, but you get the face camo, cover / camo items. I wonder if they're the face tattoos. We'll have to wait and see. Survivor Pass XP. So you could earn approximately 600 per hour with 7,200 per day, which is fine. Then gas can improvements. We're finally getting the gas can that they teased a couple of updates back in update 7.2. Also, what I mean by the face tattoo is look at this. Check out this guy. Yeah. But yeah, so Changes from the 7.2. Spilled fuel was too easy to spot, making it difficult ambushes, so they've changed that. You can now equip a gas can in the melee weapon slot, which I think is awesome because it'll make it so useful. Press attack to pour the gas on the ground. It takes 7 seconds to empty the can. Spilled fuel can be set on fire by gunshots. Okay. Does the same kind of damage as a Molotov, and it evaporates after 3.5 minutes. I think last time when I read it in like 7.2, it evaporated after something like stupid, like 20 seconds, so it was useless. Whereas 3.5 minutes, you can rig up a building if you know that the ring's coming towards you and you know there's going to be guys coming in. Let the guys walk in, throw a molly downstairs, boom, the whole thing's on fire. You can actually do that because 3.5 minutes is easily enough time. You can throw the fuel can, fine. Gas can explosions don't do as much damage, but then it'll do the Molotov damage afterwards. In North America, South America, and Oceania, you're going to have the featured map as Sanhok and then the random map the rest. And then the featured map will remove after 8.2. I'm not sure what they're doing in Europe. Nowhere does it mention, so I suppose we'll have to wait and see. Season 8 ranked mode. So the only disappointing thing about this update for me personally is that there's no solo or duo ranked. It's still only going to be squads, unfortunately, for the time being. Vikendi has been added to the ranked map pool, though, which I do like. Players' ranks get reset. You still have to do 5 placement matches, but then your initial RP is kind of based off your Season 7 rank, so you'll start a little bit higher this time. And obviously the leaderboards have been reset. They've updated it so it's team placement, not personal placement. However, if you back out of the game and your team continues, it goes off the team's current position. So if you have a random guy in the squad, they're more likely to stay and watch opposed to quit out, especially if it's quite far into the game because they never know, you might go on to win it kind of thing. Bonus kill points as well is a new thing. So if you're quite a low rank but you kill someone who's a higher rank, you'll get extra points for it because you killed someone that was a higher ranked, which I think is a nice thing for the newer players. And the growth rate has been upgraded 50% for the earlier ranks. Rule set updates. So this is what we're going to be looking at. So 4 maps. I'm still curious of why they've not added Karakin into ranked when it seems custom made for it with 64 players. Maybe they just want to add 1 map per season to make sure they balance them correctly, but it still seems weird to me. Vikendi's blue zone has been adjusted, obviously. Red zone disabled. Now, this is cool for ranked, because I was talking about this with a couple of my buddies yesterday. Why the M249 and the DBS aren't world spawns in ranked, because, I mean, they're good, but they're not like night and day the best weapon. It's not like everybody's going to be running an M249 because anything over like 20 meters, an M4 will beat you near enough every time. So I'm glad that they are in there because it does have a tactical advantage, especially in squads. If you're trying to stop a lot of vehicles because there's no spike strips, then an M249 is one of the best ways to do it. DBS, if you want to designate a guy in the squad to the super close range for breaching buildings, this is your guy. Also, Mosin Nagant is now spawned in Aragal and Vikendi, which was always stupid why it wasn't anyway, because it's basically the same as the Kar 98, but it just means you couldn't rank up that weapon without playing regular, not ranked. And a small amount of crossbows now spawn. Now, I do think that is pointless because they're not going to get any usage unless it's like the first 5 seconds of the game. It's the only thing you find. I think the first 2. I think this is probably stupid, but they might even change that in the future. Vehicles, mortar gliders now spawning ranked. This is another thing we were curious about as well, because I mean, it's not like you've got a blooming machine gun or a bomber jet up there. It's only a transportation method essentially, and there can only be 2 of you in it. So in a 4-man squad, it's a risk to split you up like that. However, you do get the aerial advantage of knowing where it's clear, so it has got a thing. It does start with a small amount of fuel upon spawning, which is good. Probably not going to get you across the map though. Like that, you'll probably still need a fuel can. Flare gun will no longer call in a BRDM2 in ranked. It was because they're thinking it's a bit too powerful, which is fine. I wonder if they'll increase the amount of crates though, because I think there's 4 flare guns on a map each time. So if they're getting rid of 2 of the BRDMs, I wonder if it'll allow for 4 crates. Time will tell. Maximum amount of survival mastery is 1500 per match. A couple of performance bits. I can't remember where it said it, but I'll just mention it because I remember. The survival mastery to enter ranks has gone from 20 to 40 as well, so slightly higher, which is just worth noting. They're doing some sound rework in to do with steps, so they're making a greater difference between bare feet and shoes, as well as enhancing the quality of the sounds over distance, so you can more accurately gauge how far they are away, which is cool. Some UI stuff. A custom match observer, so if you participate in like tournaments, you know, for your Facebook groups and stuff, the guy observing and perhaps streaming like a lot of them do is going to give more of like an esports feel, which is pretty cool. There's a new team up feature, so after a game you can team up with the random guy, you know, if you teamed well, and get them in, which is pretty good. We've got new skins coming, so these aren't part of the pass. These are going to be, you know, your purchasable ones. So you've got the Star Furry weapon set, a couple of different weapons. You've got the Corgi helmets, which is these guys. Corgi backpack and a Corgi crew backpack for the level 3. So obviously somebody at PUBG Corp has a Corgi, and that's fine. I'm not quite sure if I'll purchase any of those myself, but you know, something for you to get. New victory dance. I always quite like looking at these. They get more and more extravagant as time goes on, which is good. And then we've got a job lot of bug fixes. So a bit of a footstep issue, footsteps in certain buildings. So not a lot really there. A couple of skin bugs, and that's it. So that's everything that we're going to be getting in update 8.1 for PUBG. Now this one launches on the 22nd for PC, going on the PTS tomorrow. In the trailer that was leaked like last week, it said it was coming to the console on July the 30th, so hopefully that's still the correct time scale, and it makes sense because it's about a week after the PC live server, which is, you know, standing in with what they generally do. And that's it. Like I say, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did find the information useful, consider liking and subscribing to see more. Wookie out.